And welcome back to Yarn Lane, or welcome if you've only just joined us. So this morning is all about macrame. Now this is the first time we've ever done macrame, so we're treating it from a complete beginner's point of view. I've been talking to Wool Couture for a while. We featured their knitted animals a while ago. Now notice that they did beginners macrame kits, and we didn't want to start a new craft without it being a beginner. We've got Carrie with us today who's going to explain exactly how to do it if you've never done it before, or maybe you used to do macrame in the 70s and you thought, oh, I haven't done that for a while, because we've transformed the set. We have become a macrame room now. It's beautiful, really beautiful. So should we have a little look round? Behind me we have Macrame Bunting. Can you see if I stand aside? Macrame Bunting, isn't that lovely? And then if we move over to behind Carrie, we've got Macrame. Stuart's just coming. There's morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
So Carrie has the plant hangers. Don't they look amazing?
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Beautiful, aren't they?
Really
and then hanging up there are the little macrame rainbow wall hangings. They're available in two colourways, flamingo and over the rainbow. Look at those. So we've got lots of different kits to show you, different colourways, but it really is a beginner's. Now, if you've never shopped with Yarn Lane before, you go onto our website, www.yarnlane.com, exactly the same way as Sewing Street does. You click on Watch Live, and then if you scroll down below that, you will see all the products that we're talking about today, all the kits, and you just click on Buy It Now, Add to Basket, and then you remember to check out. And once you've done that, it's yours. So it's really easy. But if you would rather speak to a human being, we do have a UK call centre. In fact, it's just down the road from us. We have a dedicated number for Yarn Lane. You can't phone the Sewing Street one. We have our own number, which is on the screen now, 0800 4700 600. Now, works in exactly the same way as Sewing Street. The postage is £3.95 per day. It doesn't matter how many times you shop with us, it still is £3.95, but it applies to Sewing Street as well. So if you're on Sewing Street this morning and you bought the early bird at 8 o'clock, that's your postage covered. And then you buy something on Yarn Lane, it's only one. So the postage, 1p per day, goes across both channels. But if you're on Yarn Lane and you buy something now and then at 10 o'clock this evening you think, oh, actually, I might just pop in and buy one of those kits, you still, once your P&P's done up till midnight, that's it. So that's how you shop, easy peasy. Everything is on the website. We've got loads of other kits and accessories. You can see everything that you need there. So I'm going to talk about the kits first. So where should we start? I think let's start with the plant hangers, because I really like these, because that's what makes me think of macrame. There's one kit, makes it easy. One kit, one colourway. It's called the Two Sisters Plant Hangers. So in the kit, lots of these in baskets, not surprised, it's beautiful. So this is kind of your 70s macrame plant hanger, but bought bang up to date. It's beautiful, it's stylish. In the kit you get, there's loads in the kit, you get an S-hook to start with. That's for doing your macrame with. So you only get one of those because you need to do your macrame from above. You get two wooden rings, because there's enough in your kit to make two plant hangers. You get two wooden rings. You get all the macrame ropes. It's 3mm rope, which means it's a 3mm diameter. You get all of that bundle inside. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a really lovely cotton rope, really sort of rich cream colour, very, very natural. You also get stranded cotton in blue and green. So if we look on the picture on the box, lovely picture, isn't it? Can you see the close-up picture here? So you've got blue and green, and you use blue on one and green on the other. We've got a few hung up behind Carrie with different colours on, but in this one you just embellish it with the stranded cotton, and it goes across there. It's lovely, isn't it? But really natural. It's very up-to-date. Now, in the book as well, you get a how-to macrame guide. So this is the basic how-to macrame. It goes through it step by step, how to do the different knots, what it is, how you do it. So it really is hold your hand. I mean, obviously, Carrie's going to show us how to do it, so you can follow her, but when you get your kit home, it's all in the book. And this is the very basic how to macrame. But not only that, you also get very specific how to do this one, so how to do the Two Sisters plant hangers. So in the kit, you've got 60 metres of rope, the S-hook, two wooden rings, the stranded cotton, darning needle, the instructions and the macrame manual, and all you'll need is a 12cm plant pot and scissors and a tape measure. That's it, and everything else is there. So this really is very complete from the beginning. Everything you need. You won't need any other equipment. But aren't they beautiful? I love the photographs as well. And when you see Carrie in a minute, they're all hanging up behind her, so you can have a look at them as you go. Next, I'm going to do bunting. That's behind me, the bunting. So if I stand to one side, you can see it better, can't you? There's the Isabella Bunting. This is the most popular so far. I mean, it's massive actually, isn't it? It's really big. If I stand next to it, just so you can see, look how big the bunting is. It's hand big. The picture I've seen of it is hanging behind someone's bed, or you could have it on the living wall. It looks really lovely. So here's a picture. You can see it clearly on the box. So in the box, you get 2 lots of 30 metres of macrame rope. Now this is available in 2 colourways. The one on the screen at the moment is the cream one. So it's available in cream or grey. The one hung up there is cream, but there is the grey as well. So you get 2 lots of 5mm rope. So you see this is a little bit thicker than the one that's used for the pot hangers, plant hangers. 2 of them. You get the How to Macrame Guide, which is the basic one, the same with the plant hangers, but all the basics. And then you also get the original instructions that you need specifically for this. And you don't need anything else for this. You just need the kit. And when you've finished it, it will be 120 centimetres long. So 1/4 of the stock of the cream one has gone. But look, doesn't it look lovely hung above a bed? Oh, you've got the graphic there. Or you could hang it on your living room wall, or you could hang it on side on your kitchen dresser. It would look so many ways. It's beautiful though, isn't it? You know, it really shows you that macrame isn't old fashioned. It really is up to date, and it's a beautiful craft to do. But I think, you know, macrame's in. If you go to any of these really cool shops, it's all macrame. Now we've got the same kit in grey. I really like this colour. A lot of people's decor at the moment is grey, so it really blends in well with that. Now you've got exactly the same. You've got 2 lots of 30 metres, so 60 metres of this 5mm rope. And it is beautiful, beautiful cotton. Isn't that lovely? Then you get the How to Macrame instructions, which are the basic how to, and then the individual how to make this kit. So it's exactly the same as the cream one, only it's grey. And then finally, because we need to crack on and get on with the demo, there's the rainbow wall hanging. Now, there are 2 colourways of this. So this one is flamingo pinks. So in this kit, you get the macrame rope. This is a 5mm one, I think. Yeah, I'm getting better at this now. So you get the macrame rope. That's used for the hoops of the rainbows. You get 10 skeins of stranded cotton, all in shades of flamingo pinks. Isn't it pretty? Really, really pretty. And that's used for wrapping the cord. Love that one. And you get a darning needle. Oop. And you get, I thought I'd drop one then, but I haven't. That was the microphone. And you get the instructions. Oh, there's the needle. Stuck to the front. Sew me, it says. And all you need other than this is tape measure and scissors. Everything else you need, so it's all there. Isn't it beautiful? So you can make from this kit 3 rainbows. There is enough to make all 3 of them, so you can make them all the same colour, or you can have, you know, choose the threads, and you can have one that's light pink, one in medium pink, and they're for hanging on the walls, but they're just so pretty. Can you imagine how much these would cost if you bought these in one of those little gift stores? I mean, one of Wool Couture's, when I spoke to Wool Couture about which of their kits were the best, this is their best seller. So I thought, well, we've got to have them, because I think they're lovely. Really, really pretty. And just something lovely. If you wanted to buy a gift for somebody, you know, maybe someone younger, like a child or a grandchild, or your friend or your auntie, what a really nice thing to start with. Because I think this is probably the easiest. Is this the easiest one? Yeah, this is, yes. So this is a lovely gift. And what's nice about it is everything is in the box. So once you get this home, if you want to give it in a gift, you don't have to do anything, just wrap it up. But because you've got everything, whichever one you buy, it is a fantastic gift, even if it's a gift to yourself. And then finally, the other rainbow wall hanging, that is in, again, you get the 5 millimetre rope, you get the cream rope, and then this is all in rainbow colours. And Carrie has one of those behind. Oh, have we got a picture of it there? Okay. Yeah, so the picture there, that's the colours you get. So you have them in all different colours of the rainbow, and you can choose which ones you put there. And then Carrie's got the one, she'll show you the one, so then you can decide whether you want over the rainbow or flamingo pinks. But again, you get you'll make 3 rainbow hoops with each one. So, and you get instructions in there, so it's all exactly the same. So all you've got to do is decide which one you want, but remember they do make fantastic gifts as well. So, right, what should we start? Should we start with the rainbow?
If that's okay.
Yes.
I think that's where we'll start.
All right. Well, so, welcome back, Carrie. It's really nice to see you again.
Thank you, and you know, thanks for sending me this. Just allow me to do these beautiful macrame things. They're just so cool. I feel like, I think it's the photographs as well. I feel like spring is coming.
Yes,
summer
it is.
Coming,
I think
and
all of the green, it does feel very fresh.
Yeah,
doesn't
really
it?
fresh. And like you were saying with that bunting, I'm planning a bit of an outside renovation, and I can just see that.
Yeah, it would look
in
lovely.
the evenings, outside.
Put little fairy lights along it, couldn't you?
So
It's just cool.
I really love it, and I love that grey. Really love that grey. So I'm going to start with the rainbow because, as you said, it is the easiest one, and it takes some practice, but it's really easy. So this is you've got the flamingo pinks there, and this is this is one of the rainbows.
Oh yeah, if you put it flat on the desk, then we
go.
can probably, perfect.
Like that. That's I've just chosen 4 shades.
Because there's lots of colours in there,
Yeah.
so you can choose.
You can choose, exactly. Now, it recommends in the pattern, in your instructions, to put them on some pegs, and I have done that. I've been that person.
Oh, well done.
And I've put them
They
on.
look lovely.
I know, they look really cute anyway, don't they? So, all I've done is just, you know, taken out the floss from one of the from the packaging. I've put the little bit of thing there so I know what it is.
Okay, so you know which
wrapped
colours
it around the peg, and the peg makes it much easier to be able to wrap around, because what you're going to do is cut some lengths. You have 4 different lengths, and it's all in the instructions. You cut 4 different lengths of rope. You choose your colourway, and your inner colour there is going to be on the shortest rope.
Oh, okay. Right,
And then
that makes sense.
it goes around. So I've chosen this blue, green, pink and red. And then for my next one, I've chosen the purple, blue, yellow and pink. But there are also an orange and a lovely bronzy brown as well that's in there.
Yeah, some really nice colours, aren't there?
Really lovely.
So with your 3 rainbows, you can really vary.
Yeah,
can't
it was
you?
hard to choose, but I thought, okay, this one, classic rainbow there, classic rainbow,
yeah.
and then I thought we'd go for a bit of a variation. So what happens is that as you've got your 2 bits of cord together, and you can see I've done 3 here on this one that I'm going to demo for you, and I've got 1 here. So I've got 2 bits of cord here. I've got my little, it's just some of my washing pegs that I nicked out of the utility room. So all we're going to do is holding it nice and tight. With your darning needle, first of all, you're just going to go through
Which comes with your kit.
Which comes with your kit. You're going to put a couple of stitches through the rope there, and then you start wrapping. And that is it. It sounds really simple, and it is simple, but don't be disheartened if you think, oh gosh, that looks a bit lumpy bumpy, and you need to undo it and go again. There's no harm in that. And to be honest, when you're going to start doing your macrame, that's probably what you're going to have to do anyway. You might have to undo a few knots and redo them again. Don't get disheartened. It's a new craft.
Right,
It might be new to you.
And it's not like trying to undo thread.
It's not like, no, you're not going to get yourself in a big tangle
Okay.
and a mess. It's just undoing a knot, and that's kind of it. So with this, if you're holding it nice and tight and you've got it, it does work. If you just did it from the floss, from one of the, straight from the skein, the little skein, you can do that. It is a bit easier on a peg. You don't have to use wooden pegs, whatever you've got.
I know, but that's part of the process. And also, I think while you're winding your pegs, you can be choosing your colours.
Exactly. It kind of makes it easier to see them.
It
when
is,
they're like
I
that.
think, easier than when they're in the skeins.
Yeah, I
isn't
agree.
it?
And you can chop and change around and decide what colours you're going to fit together. Really lovely. I really enjoyed doing that. So we're holding the 2 pieces of rope together, and we are just, can you see that? Am I in the right place there? You're just wrapping. Try not to overlap
But
because
side
that
by
again that
side.
makes it lumpy. Yeah, and you can just push a little bit, just give it a squeeze and push it. We're just holding it quite tight, quite firmly here, and just wrapping. And that process of holding it firmly and wrapping actually makes it into a rainbow shape. You'll find it's starting to curve.
It's becoming an arc all on its own.
Becoming an arc by itself.
So this is a lovely thing to give as a gift to someone, or someone who's new to craft.
I think so. I think if everyone's got one of those friends who's, I really like to craft, or I can see all the things you're doing, they look so fantastic, but I couldn't do that because for whatever reason. This is so accessible.
And it's just that sort of start, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
And then you're making something really lovely that you actually want to own.
Yeah,
because I think often with beginners' crafts, the finished item isn't not necessarily you want to own, isn't it? But
maybe all of these, I'm a little bit obsessed with these kits now. They're just so beautiful. So these ones, I can totally imagine these little rainbows in my daughter's bedroom. But if you had just the pinks, how cute would they look? Just like in your kitchen or something?
Just
or
lovely, aren't they?
They're
just
really lovely.
On your front door.
Yeah, on your front door. Just a whole house covered in macrame. I imagine it's really good insulation in the winter, though, right? I mean, we can get away with that.
It is really popular at the moment, isn't it? You just everywhere you look, it's just become really cool.
It has.
But it's been updated, hasn't it? It's not old-fashioned anymore.
It's not the kind of macrame that you imagine or you remember from your grand's house. I'm pretty sure both of my nans had macrame pot holders in their windows.
With spider plants.
With spider plants. Although spider plants, again, very
I was going to think, can you get spider plants now?
Absolutely. They're very trendy
I used to
now.
love them. My auntie had them and they always had babies.
Yeah, they do.
She'd always give me some babies and I'd take them home and plant them and then they would die eventually because I didn't look after them.
Well, are we going to fess up and say that all of the plants we have are plastic and from our own collections, Rebecca?
And that is exactly why, because I am rubbish at plants. Maybe I need to try harder because they are crying out for a spider plant, aren't they?
There you go. I don't think you can kill a spider plant, can you?
I don't think
that's
But
possible.
they had all these babies, didn't they? So that you could then take them off and then put those into
give them as a present to a friend with a macrame pot holder.
With a macrame pot holder.
There you go.
It is a great gift.
Yeah. So I'm just wrapping. It becomes quite... I found myself in this kind of meditative, mindful state as I was doing it. It's so lovely. It's so nice. And I'm just wrapping around. And that's all you're going to do until you get to a couple of centimetres. You can see I've got the tassels here. So it tells you in the instructions, I think that's about 4 centimetres, maybe 4 centimetres or so. So I would keep wrapping around. I'm probably going to stop before I need to, so that I can show you.
But it tells you all the measurements are in there.
Tells you all your measurements. And the best thing to do, I found, cut your rope first.
Right.
Cut your rope, and that's all that old adage as well, isn't it? Measure twice. Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. So make sure that you're cutting all your cords and you've got them all nicely laid out for you. And you've set out your colours, you've decided your colourways, and then you can get going. So I'm going to carry on for a moment. So once I've done enough there, just get a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut it here, just because I want to show you.
And it's nice, it's a proper needle, isn't it? Sometimes when you buy a beginner's kit, they put plastic needles in. I've understood that.
I know. And
because they're rubbish.
Yeah, they are rubbish. But like last time when we were looking at Wool Couture, everything is there in your kit that you need. It's presented so beautifully. The photography is lovely, showing you just what you can do with it. The instructions are brilliant.
And everything is decent quality as well, isn't it? They haven't sort of taken that, it's beginners will, it's low. It's exactly. So it makes you want, once you've done one of these, it makes you want to go on to the next stage.
The rope is it's rope. It's really soft.
Proper macrame
it's really
rope.
soft rope. Yeah, cotton, pure 100% cotton rope. Because if you're going to spend the time doing it, what is the point of doing it with substandard?
And it's nice that the needle is there, but it's a proper needle.
I'm going to turn the rainbow over so that you can see the back. So if you've seen one of these rainbows before, and they're probably shop bought or whatever, you might find that actually what happens is the way that they join them together is with a glue gun. But Wool Couture didn't want to do that because that's just another piece of kit that you have to have. They wanted everything to be in the kit. So can you see just these little bits of stitching?
Ah, okay, yeah.
That
But that's
is
the back
how,
of it.
that's the back of it. That's how I've sewn them together. Really simple and details exactly what to do in the instructions. So we're just little zigzags there of colour. So once you've finished and you've got to that point, I know you have to forgive me, I've stopped a little bit sooner than I should have done, but you measure them up and you can see they're all lining up there. So I'm going to just thread the darning needle.
And it does give you all the measurements so you can see exactly, so it works. You haven't got to think, oh, how long do I need the outer one? It's all done.
Thread the darning needle and you're going to just take that through, let me just bring that forward a bit, take that through the rope and just pop it through there, and that just secures it. And as you're going along, you'll find a side that looks a bit neater than another, or where you've just finished. You can see there, I've finished that one just down there. So that's the back.
Now, if you want, there's a lot of you who have got these in baskets, but you do need to check out both colours over the rainbow and the flamingo pinks, because we've got more of you with them in baskets than we've actually got. So if you want it, you do need to check out, because a bit like Sainsbury's, when you go to the toilet, they take it out of your basket if you haven't checked out. It's very annoying. People do that. They do. They could, if you had something nice in your basket. So if you've got one of these in your basket, you really do need to check out. Okay.
So I'm just going to show you very briefly, I'm just going to show you how to start. So I would cut that off. I'm not going to, because I would like to finish that off in a bit, but just to show you, we would get a different colour. In fact, I'm going to use the purple here. I think I'm going to use the purple just because that's at the end of our rainbow. I'm going to get the purple, cut yourself a length, and you're going to thread the darning needle, put a little knot in the other end. I know that if you're doing traditional sewing, you would be gasping at me at this point for putting a knot in the end, but we're going to put a knot in the end of it because it's at the back. We want to make sure it's secure, and so I'm just doing a little double knot there.
It's a bit like cutting paper with fabric scissors knots. You go,
I know, I am that person. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just literally going to put the needle through, take it through. We can trim this afterwards, or we could probably tuck it around a little bit, and then we just go to the next one, picking up a few stitches like that, making sure it's lined up nicely.
Okay.
Like that.
So you just sew it together.
And that's it. That's it. Really easy, really nice. And once you've finished that, once you've gone all the way through, so you would go all the way through each one, miss a gap, come down, miss a gap, go up. And you can see that that's
and
what
actually,
I've done.
there are photos in the instructions of exactly how to do that.
And that's what I've done there. And then once you've finished your rainbow, get some nice sharp scissors. And we're just going to give it a little trim. Give it a little haircut like that. Make sure that one is at the same kind of level. You do have to make sure your scissors are relatively sharp to do this, otherwise they won't end up with such a nice.
Lovely.
And all I've done to achieve that is just untwisted it. So you've got two bits that you can untwist, and then you've got, you separate it out. You don't. I know in some instructions it will tell you to use a comb, but to be honest, it's such beautiful quality. You don't really need to. You'll just be able to do that with your fingers.
Because it is lovely. It is lovely rope, isn't it?
So
there's your rainbow.
Finished rainbow, and that is, I would say, the beginner's kit. There aren't really many knots. You're doing a little bit of sewing, and you're wrapping. The wrapping is something that you're going to do in the Two Sisters as well. So I'm going to pop that back.
They're lovely. So if you want one of those kits, we've got it in, they're both called rainbows, but we've got it in the over the rainbow colourway, which is the one that Carrie was just demonstrating for us. So that's this kit here. And in it you get 30 metres of rope. I think it looks like the 30-metre bundle. It is the same as that.
You get a lot of
30 metres of rope. You get the 10 skeins of stranded cotton. You get the full instructions of exactly how to do it and the needle. And there are photos as well of all the different stages. And obviously you can watch back. Now, so the one that's on screen at the moment is the Over the Rainbow colourway. But we also have it in the Flamingo Pinks colourway, which exactly the same. So, and it all comes from, these it all comes in this lovely gift box as well, which is nice to know, because if you're thinking about buying something for a gift, you want to know what it looks like. So it all comes wrapped in the gift box, and you get the instructions with the needle, the 30 metres of macrame rope, 10 skeins of stranded cotton, and everything you need to do to make the no and for the flamingo pigs. And all you need, and it says on it, you will also require scissors and a tape measure, so you know that everything that you will need is in here. Right, pot holders so far are most popular. Should we do them next?
We can do, yeah. I'm getting the Isabella Bunting out, but we can absolutely, do the pot holders. Totally fine. So this is, I would say,
so the S hook isn't for the hanging; it's for the making.
Yes. There we are.
So what?
At home, I would hang this on. So I would have a bit of rope and then the S hook, and I would hang it over a curtain rail. You're not putting loads of weight on it, so don't panic that you're going to be pulling your curtains down. That's all we're doing. Just literally just hanging it so that you've got somewhere nice and handy to work from. You'll see in a moment with the Isabella Bunting, I put it on a clipboard.
Oh, okay. So with this,
that is an option. This one is it's easier if you've got this one hanging, but it's not that you need lots of specialist equipment. Just hanging it from a curtain, a curtain rail will do. Absolutely, as I say, it's not heavy, so you're not.
And you get to means you sit next to the window as well. So
exactly,
that's quite
looking
nice.
out the window.
Sunlight.
Yeah, very nice. Now,
wave at your neighbours.
Yeah. What is she doing
What
there?
is she doing? Nodding in the window.
Yeah. So,
or you could have it on a doorknob or something, or like on the top of a door.
You could do on the rail if you've got
a
a lock up there or something. Yeah, it's not. You don't need to do lots of setting up. So I have got here my curtain hook. I've got my little hoop here, because all the instructions
comes in the kit. So everything is in the kit, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got two of them there. So
yeah,
with this one,
plant pot.
Yeah. Get yourself down to a garden centre. They're open at the moment, aren't they? Or find something outside.
So everything is, which is great, because I think if it's things like this, if that wasn't in the kit,
you need it. It's integral to
where
making
am I going to
this.
find it?
Yeah, everything is there.
Okay.
With this one, we are going to learn the square knot, which is one of the most basic knots. There are 3 basic knots that I'm going to go through today. The square knot, which is these knots here, and giving you a nice flat piece. If you've seen macrame, you know the macrame that's kind of twists?
Yes.
That's a half one of these.
Oh, okay.
So again, it's there really aren't that many stitches that you need to learn. So this is the square knot. We're going to learn a lark's head, and we're also going to learn a clove hitch. But for this one, all we need to do is the square knot. We don't even need to do a lark's head, because once we've cut our lengths, and for this one you need 3 lengths of 5 metres and 3 lengths of 4 metres.
Macrame
It's
rope,
3
isn't it?
it's 3 millimetre, yeah.
Really
so we need to cut those lengths first, and then you find the midpoint by pulling them and making sure you've got half, and then you're looping them through your circle, your ring there, looping them through at the midpoint. So this is the midpoint of all of my lengths. And then get your darning needle, which again comes in the kit. Thread that, and it even tells you, I love this about their kits, even tells you how much floss you're going to need. So 3 metres of the coloured embroidery yarn.
Yeah, there's no
and
sort
floss.
of just cut it into lengths.
No, there's no
exactly
guessing, and that's great as well, because you don't want to be wasting things. If you had to, on some of these little colour pops, you might have to practice a little bit. Well, that's fine, because you've got plenty. So we're going to, we then, just like I did with the rainbow, secure it over 2. You see, if I turn that, you can just about see where I've secured it there into 2 bits of rope, and then I've wrapped it, just like I did with the rainbow, just wrapped it. And then once I've done about 3 centimetres, secured that, and then what you're going to have is you're going to have 12 ropes. You're going to section those off so that you've got 2 long lengths and 2 short lengths in each of the 3 sections.
Okay.
The key is to make sure that you have, and you can do this when you're hanging them as well, so you can do long, short, long, short, long, short as you're along the top there, and then that will work out as you're coming down the centre, coming down to do these knots. So we've got our long ones on the outside. I'm just trying to, there we go. So long on the outside, short in the middle, and we then make these knots. The reason that you've got the longer on the outside and the shorter in the middle is that because you're making quite a few knots, you're going to make 35 knots down here. is because the knotting takes a lot more cord, basically. So I'm going to show you now how
So half of the plant hangers have already gone. So this is only
Ah.
available in the one colourway. You make 2 plant hangers. One has blue thread on it and one has green thread on it. They both
Yeah.
have the cream
Yeah.
rope. But, you know, for $29.99 you get to make 2. That's great. So half of the stock is gone. So if you do want this, you need to get it in your basket and check out.
There we go. One of the tips that I've got for doing this is don't be frightened to move this around. You know, if you need to move it so that the 3 that you're working on are closest to you.
You know, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not going to mess you up, don't worry. So as you can see, I've done 35 on each of these, and I'm going to show you now how to do a square knot with this one that I haven't quite finished yet. So you get your ropes out of the way there, and we're going to do a square knot. I'm working out the best way. Right, okay. So with a square knot, you're making what looks like with your and you have to forgive me, Rebecca, because my left and right are not my forte. So if I get it wrong, just shout me out, okay? So with your left rope, we're going to make what looks like a number 4 across the 2 centre ropes. You see if I do it like that. And then this rope comes over the top and it goes through the centre. We pull it through and then you pull those bits too tight. Can you see how that is making a knot across those 2 centre ones? And then we do exactly the same, but we make what looks like a D.
And the actual diagrams in here are very clear, aren't they?
They are very clear, yeah. And then you pull that through, and then you just, before you tighten it up entirely, you move it up and make sure that it's at the bottom there. So I'm going to show you that one more time. We make the number 4. We bring the right hand rope over the top, and then it goes through, underneath, and through that loop. And you pull it tight.
Well, that's nice. So after a few goes,
yeah, it
lovely. Becomes easy.
Yeah, it does. And the great thing about this is because you're doing the same thing over and over again, which is one of the most basic but knots that you're going to use if you want to carry on doing macrame, is that you've really got it down. By the time you finish, you've really got it down. And yesterday I found myself looking at one of the cords thinking, I haven't done a good enough job actually. So I undid it a little bit and then redid it.
And is it fine to undo?
Oh, it's totally fine.
It doesn't sort of
it doesn't get in a it doesn't kink, and I think it's because it's this lovely heavy cotton.
It is a really nice quality, isn't it?
Yeah. So that is the most basic.
Wow. And in the kit, the How to Macrame booklet has got some really good diagrams.
You've got your instructions, you've got your How to Macrame booklet as well. It's all there. So what we're going to do is just measure that up. I think I probably just need one more actually.
So if you do want this kit, you really do need to check out, because we have actually got more people who've got it in baskets than we've got. So you need to get to the checkout.
It's so lovely, so lovely. I can see these in a bedroom even, in your kitchen, just lovely. So let's just measure those up.
Well, they will fit in a lot of different environments. So if you're making it for yourself or it's a gift, it will fit anywhere.
And the great thing is also that you don't. I know it says does it say 7 centimetre pot or 12 centimetre pot? You can adjust the size, because the next thing we're going to do, you can adjust the size of this bit here. So if you've got a bigger pot, you've got enough rope here that you can actually make it a bit bigger.
So you could try your pot out at this point.
Do try your pot out at this point, in fact. So what we've got to, I don't know if you can see on this back one here, we've come down, we've done this part here. Now, can you see this lovely diamond shape here? This lovely diamond shape that we've got.
Yeah, she's about, yeah.
Yeah. Just hold on for a sec. So we've got this lovely diamond shape, because what we've done is we have separated out we've got 4 cords coming down here, and we've separated out 2 of them here.
Yeah.
So at this point, you can measure your pot. I mean, we've got different size pots anyway, and actually they look fine. They're holding it really...
Well, it sort of stretches out, doesn't it?
It's holding it really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate, but again, it's only a square knot. We're not doing anything complicated. We're just separating them out, doing a square knot, and then we're bringing them back together to finish off at the bottom there. So I'm going to show you how to just quickly do that square knot.
And I guess once you've had to go and made one and think, that doesn't fit, you'd know how to undo it
Yeah.
to make it fit if you want to.
It's just a knot, and they don't get tangled. They don't get tangled up. You're fine. So you can see here, if I just show you there, I've got the 2 lengths there, and I've taken, this is, in the instructions, it's really handy. It tells you this section is going to be A, this is going to be B, this is going to be C. Okay? So with 3 and 4, chords 3 and 4 of A, I'm going to join those and make a square knot with chords 1 and 2 from B.
Right,
that's
nice.
all I've done.
Yeah, no, that all makes sense.
So then I'm going to, with chords 3 and 4 of B, I'm going to join those with chords 1 and 2 of C. Now you might at this point think, oh my goodness, how am I going to, I haven't got a knot to go up to. Don't panic at all. The knot will just sit really nicely. We're going to do with the D. We're going to bring it over and under and through. And then we're going to measure it against our other one. So I think it says roughly 7 centimetres at this point, but like we were saying, if you've got a bigger pot, make it longer.
Oh yeah, because that sort of sits halfway across it.
Have a longer...
and if it's not right, you just undo it.
You just undo it and do it again. So that one, I'm going to do 2, one side with the number 4 and one side that looks like the letter D. And we just straighten it out like that. And you can see that nice square knot, and it's sitting nicely, and you can adjust it a little bit. There we go. And then we would do the same on here.
Okay.
With those 2, and that's your square knot. And if you didn't quite, I know it's a bit tricky because it's hanging, but I can't really do this one flat because they are quite long lengths. But we'll do the square knot again when we do the bunting.
Yeah, well, we've got 15 minutes left.
Okay, but then let's do the bunting.
And as I said, the diagrams are really good.
They are really good. And with these little pops of colour that you've got here going down the length, all you are doing is threading your darning needle, and then you are, and it explains this in the instructions, you're counting down to number 11, and then you're just wrapping 2 of these.
Wow. See, from a distance, they look like beads. It looks like,
they look like beads. Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Difficult.
Yeah, but it's not. You're just wrapping 2 of those.
That's really
wrapping
lovely.
It round.
So, if you wanted it a different colour and you had your own stranded cotton, you could change the colour as well. And it's lovely that you get 2.
Yeah.
I'd love one of these.
I know, they're really nice,
I want one of these.
I really would. I really would like them. Again, think might have to just go for plastic plants though.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got a sudden retro urge for a spider plant. I'm going to go down the garden centre.
Yeah, I know what you'll be putting into your basket later. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. Okay. I'm going to go for the Isabella Bunting now.
Right.
I would say this is kind of your intermediate.
So remember, Isabella Bunting comes in 2 colourways. There's the cream that Carrie has got now, and we have as the sample. Now, a quarter of the stock of that one has gone already. But then we chose the grey because at Couture, they told me that it was almost as popular as the cream, so I was very tempted.
It's so lovely.
So lots of people buy the grey because it fits really well,
grey.
nice
it's
into
really
interiors.
Nice. Yeah, really nice.
But there are single figures of the grey left. It is beautiful. Gosh, it's really soft, isn't it?
I know.
It actually feels softer almost than the 3
I think it's because it's 5mm. It's just got that bit more of a, we've got more there. It's just a bit more squishy, isn't it, actually? But I can't emphasise enough. This is rope, but it feels really soft.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not rope.
No, it's not rope. So
no,
it's lovely.
Macrame rope.
So on this one, I'm going to show you, this is a bit easier because you can do this. And you can see I've just grabbed a clipboard. I just grabbed a clipboard from the office, and I'm going to just show you some of the knots that you need to do. I've made one here already. So we're going to do Lark's head, we're going to do a square, and we're going to do the Clove Hitch as well. So Lark's head.
Oh, I can follow the picture.
Yeah, you can follow. So I've got my length. I'd already cut all of these out. Fold in half to find the centre. And for your Lark's head, what you do is you get the loop, you put it underneath your rope, and then you just pull it through like so. Although actually, now that I've done this, I've just realised that I think I've put it on my clipboard the wrong way around. I apologise. There we go. There we go. Because when you're doing the Lark's head, you should have the little loop should be at the front there. So there it is. So there's your lark head. There's one, and I'm going to do number 2. So let's find the half, pop it over and through, and that is it. That's the lark's head. Really simple, just the way of attaching, but it looks quite attractive. You can adjust these. It does say in the instructions, make sure they're about 2 millimeters apart. You can adjust those, it's not a problem. Then we're going to start doing a square knot. So like we did before on the plant hangers, we're going to do some square knots. So we're going to start, this is probably easier, you can see it much easier here. So with the left, I'm going to do a number 4. Then I'm going to bring this, we're working just with 4 ropes. We bring this one over the top, underneath, and through. And then we pull it tight. You want to make sure it's quite neat and tight up there. And then we go to the left. So we make a D, we go over the top, we go under and through, and then we pull it tight. Then we move on to the next one. So I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Put those 4 to one side. We're going to work on the next 4. So we go across, we go over, and we go under and through. Do you see what I mean by it being quite therapeutic?
It's lovely. It's very
really
mindful though, isn't it? That whole mindful, because you've got to really think about it. And then number 4, but it's very just rhythmical, isn't it? You just move from knotting. It just makes me think of plaiting. Didn't we used to plait for hours? Yeah. It's lovely.
It's really lovely.
And because you've got such a lovely quality product, you can see it just that it sits together really well.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I just love it. But as I say, a little bit obsessed with these kits. A little bit obsessed with these kits. So again, left, doing the number 4, over the top, and then through, then under and through, pulling it nice and tight to the top, adjusting as you go. Let's come off there. Adjusting as you go, that's not a problem. And then
that's quite nice though, isn't it? Because it does mean, and because it's so thick, it's easy to adjust or move around.
It's easy to adjust and it's easy to undo. So yeah don't panic. And if you find that you've done a couple that don't look quite right, then just undo them or just adjust them. There we go. So I'm just going to rush through and do this one as well. So I really want to show you how you would then, because it makes that, sorry, I'm starting the wrong way. It makes that nice diamond shape, doesn't it? They're a diamond.
Yes, it does.
They're a diamond shape. So I'm just going to show you how that diamond
because
shape.
the actual real thing looks quite sort of coarse, and when you touch it, it isn't.
It's surprising, isn't it? I know. Really lovely. So there we go. Just do that last one there. Over and under and through. And I'm going to show you now how you will start that diamond shape. What we do is we ignore these 2. We don't want them. They're not invited to the party anymore.
Just don't talk
those
to
ones
them.
are over there. Don't talk to those ones. And then we
ostracise the
Number 4, exactly the same. But this is bringing it down to a point.
So do you keep doing that then?
You keep doing that.
Ignoring
you
the
have
outer
3, let's see, 1, 2, I think it's 4 rows. You've got 4 rows essentially of knots because your last row is just 1 knot at the very centre. And then to finish them off, I'm just going to show you this one and another one here. And then I'd like to show you, whilst we've still got time, just the clove hitch, because that's what gives you that beautiful point to the triangle.
Oh, so
shape.
that's the final.
The final knot
is a different one.
Yeah, is a different one. It's called a clove hitch knot. And it's very simple. All of these knots are really simple, and you can make such beautiful, beautiful things with them, just by doing those few knots. So what we would do with the clove hitch to make this part here, to make this lovely border, what we would do, you have what's called a guide rope. So this very outer rope is going to be your guide rope, and all the others are your working rope, okay? So this is your guide rope. You can, with Clove Hitch, depending on what pattern you're doing, this could go directly across and we could have a Clove Hitch directly underneath those lark's heads if we wanted to, but we are going diagonal. So we're going to make sure that we're holding that guide rope diagonally. And then what we're doing is we're taking this next rope, it's going over, under and through, and then you're making sure it's nice and tight up there. And you do it again. Every rope, every working rope has to do 2 of these knots on your guide rope, and you bring it nice and tightly up there. Can you see that's starting? So then that one can stay over there. This is our guide rope. We want it to go diagonal. We are going over, under and through and making sure it's nice and neat and tight up to the work that we've done. And that is the Clove Hitch.
Perfect.
And that is it. And when you get to you'll come down and you'll come to the point, you'll start the next side and then you'll just join in the centre.
And then you fray the ends.
And then you fray the ends just like we did with the rainbow. You can just undo it and also, just decide whether you want them coming down in a V or whether you want them straight across, because you've got enough rope that will be possible, and just tidy them and have a play and make it look beautiful. So each of them, it tells you the spacing between each of your sections of bunting. Like we've come to know from Couture, everything is there.
Yeah,
it
really is holds your hand throughout it, and the fact that the kits have got everything in them.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
It's lovely. You just got to decide whether you want cream or grey.
I know, or maybe both. Maybe both.
Or maybe both.
Because,
or maybe just
because
both.
you could have them in different rooms, couldn't you? And
you
then
could.
That would be...
And one for you and one as a gift.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, they're lovely, aren't they? Well, thank you so much, Carrie. That's been brilliant. You've really I looked at them when they came in thinking, I really want to make one of those, but it looks,
it's
you've made it look really easy.
It's really accessible. I would say just give it a go, because all the instructions are there, and they really are simple, but you're doing really simple basic stitches that you could, or knots, sorry, that you can then take on to do other projects. Once you've got this.
Nice.
The macrame world is your oyster.
So I'm going to just have a very quick run through the kits again. So the cream bunting, which is called the Isabella Bunting, in the kit you get 2 lots of 30 metres of rope, the macrame guide, and the instructions to make the actual bunting, but the full macrame guide that shows you all the knots, and just so you can see very quickly how clear they are. That's what it looks like, with the knots. There's, just a few words. It's mostly in pictures, so you can really see what's going on. It's all labelled, but that's just a small example of what it looks like. It's very easy to understand. That's the cream one that's on the screen at the moment. The other one is the grey one, so the grey bunting kit. It's beautiful, very sort of soft, steely grey colour. Looks really soft. There's only 4 of these left, so if you want one, you really need to get it in your basket and check out. So that's the grey bunting. I'm doing this quite quickly because we're going to run out of time otherwise. The Two Sisters plant hangers. Well over half of the stock has been checked out, so if you want it, you need to get it in your basket and check out, because it will go. You get the lovely 3mm rope. I think there's 30 metres of that. That's really lovely. You get the 2 rings, because remember you can make 2 of them. The S hook is used for making it, not hanging it, although you could use it to hang it. If you wanted to hang it from somewhere higher up, you could. It will fit on the ring. If you do want to hang it up, you can, but it's only one of them. And then you get the blue stranded cotton and the green, and that's used for making the little colour. So when everyone who's got it in their basket is checked out, we are in single figures of this. So if you want it, you need to get it. And remember, all of them come in these lovely gift boxes with beautiful photography. So it really is a beautiful present in itself. And then finally, the little rainbows. So this is the Over the Rainbow, where you get the traditional rainbow colours. You've got 30 metres of macrame rope. This is a brilliant place to start. Or if you're buying something for someone younger or someone who's a beginner to craft and wants to have a go, this is quite accessible, but a beautiful thing. Although it's a beginner's kit, it's not treated like a beginner's kit. It is a beautiful thing. So you can get it in the rainbow, Over the Rainbow colours, or the other one, finally, because we're really running out of time, is the flamingo pinks colours. Exactly the same, and you've got enough in each of them to make 3 whole rainbows. So thank you so much for being with us on Yarn Lane, and it's been fantastic that we've been able to bring macrame to you. We really try to bring you new crafts and old crafts, and you know, start you at the beginner and then we move you on and then we pick up beginners again, and it's lovely that you with us for your journey. So please do message us. Join the fans of Yarn Lane with this incredibly helpful and supportive community there of people who watch Yarn Lane, who will answer all your questions if you need any help, or just share pictures of what you've done. So join us again on Yarn Lane on Wednesday and Friday and Saturday this week. We've got Sam from Adventures in Crafting is back. What was that? Oh, I'm really confused. That's next week. Oh dear, that's next week. Wednesday, we've got, that's right, we've got Sam's Granny Square jumpers are back in stock. She's not here, but her Granny Square jumpers are back in stock on Wednesday. So that's going to be really exciting, isn't it? Looking forward to seeing you there. And then we'll be back on Friday and Saturday as well. We've got weaving. We've got loom weaving this week on Friday. So that's going to be, again, another brand new craft. So thank you for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to join us bright and early on Sewing Street tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Bye.